I am, trying to ride up to Pescol in Alta Badia on a bike that weighs 24 kilos, and not only does it not have a compact chainring, it actually doesn't have any gears at all. What the hell am I doing? Well, the story starts with a conversation with World Bicycle Relief UK. I've been a huge fan of the work of World Bicycle Relief for a few years now. Specifically, I'm a fan of the way they manage to empower people in developing countries through cycling and the buffalo bike. They told me that they have a team for the Prudential Ride London, which is a 100-mile sportive in the Surrey Hills, and they asked me if I'd like to join to help them raise money for World Bicycle Relief. Well, I was pretty chuffed because I'd love to raise money for this fantastic cause. World Bicycle Relief helps children to reduce their travel time to school, helps health workers visit more patients, and it helps entrepreneurs in rural areas and developing countries to bring more goods to market and make better profits. But there was a bit of a problem. I really was not convinced that anybody would sponsor me to do Ride London. After all, riding a bike was my job for a few years, and unfortunately, there's no way I'd ride that course, or Box Hill, anywhere near as quick as when I raced there in 2012 in the Olympic road race. It would just look like a bit of a poor effort, to be honest. My fears were confirmed when even my mum refused to sponsor me, and my mum is usually extremely generous. As she put it, cycling 100 miles, isn't that how you normally spend your Sunday, Emma? So I realised I was going to have to make it more challenging and frankly a lot less fun if I was going to have any hope of persuading family and friends to fork out and donate. And well, Bicycle Relief UK said they had a spare demo buffalo bike, so here I am. Right, oh man, that's quite steep. Now let's talk a little bit about the buffalo bicycle. World Bicycle Relief did point out to me that it is absolutely not a race bike, as you can probably tell. In fact, it was built to meet the transportation needs of families, students and communities in rural parts of developing countries. As I have already mentioned, the buffalo bike is also quite heavy. Now that's because it's designed to be incredibly sturdy and to transport heavy loads. And hey, I thought, that doesn't matter because Ride London is flat. And no, before you mention it, Box Hill doesn't count. I know I've raced up it and it's not what I would call a proper hill. And also I thought it was a great opportunity to show off the buffalo bike to all the thousands of people that take part in Ride London. Let's take a closer look at the spec of the buffalo bicycle, starting with the wheels. Buffalo Bicycle's own design, 26-inch, 1.75-inch rims. And on them we have extra puncture-resistant Chaoyang tyres with 27 TPI outer casing. They are very puncture resistant. In the rear hub, we have a powerful back pedal coaster brake, meaning that the rider can brake safely and easily in all weather conditions, even with heavy loads. Moving on to the group set, the buffalo bike, of course, has only one gear, which in this case is a 46-21. It's going to be, that's quite a chunky gear actually for Box Hill, now I think about it. An absolutely integral part of the buffalo bike is the steel alloy luggage rack on the back, which can actually carry up to 100 kilos. The steel centre stand at the rear of the bike acts like a motorcycle stand, keeping the bike steady whilst loading. The steel alloy frame, as you can see, is very sturdy. It actually weighs 5 kilos all on its own. That's because it is designed to be so durable and strong. It's designed to have an easy mounting position, both women and men, and to have a very upright riding position. Moving towards the front wheel is very similar to the rear wheel, but without the hub brake. However, it is specced out with a front caliper brake, right hand front brake, of course, glad to see that, 60 centimetre wide handlebar, which is a little bit wider than I am used to, it's fair to say. Moving on to the finishing touches, there is no bar tape. However, the buffalo bike does have heavy duty rubber hand grips and, best of all, a bell. Very heavy duty and heavy looking generic saddle, which I think I might have to swap off for Ride London. No bead on cage, that might be a slight issue also. And as a final and crowning finishing touch, I think we have reflectors on the front and rear wheels and on the rear mudguard. honest, this is turning out to be a bit harder than I expected. The buffalo bike was built for transporting people and goods in difficult terrain. It wasn't built for racing. However, when you compare it to what it's used for in developing countries, well, that does put it into perspective a bit. Oh, I'm not sure I'm going to make it. World Bicycle Relief has helped to mobilise hundreds of thousands of children to get to school. 126,000 over the 7 years to 2016 alone. They found that with a buffalo bike, children's school attendance increases 28% and academic performance increases an incredible 59%. Buffalo bikes supplied by World Bicycle Relief have helped to mobilise hundreds of thousands of healthcare workers, and with a bike, a healthcare worker can travel 4 times further than on foot. World Bicycle Relief has also trained up 1,900 local mechanics in countries where buffalo bikes are distributed so that assembly and repair help the local economy. So while this is the heaviest bike I've ever ridden, I think it's also possibly the best and most powerful bike in the world in terms of how it's helped to change people's lives for the better. I really shouldn't have stopped on a hill though. I'm never going to get started again. I might need to push. Now clearly I'm not doing Ride London on a buffalo bike just for fun. I mean, hopefully it will be fun, but it also looks like it's going to be quite a significant challenge. No, to make it worthwhile, I want to raise as much money as possible for World Bicycle Relief. So please go to their website and donate. And in addition, to demonstrate the amazing carrying capacity of this bike, I'm going to carry 1 orange for every buffalo bike donated. So 1 orange for every £95 donated. I'm hoping that will make the bike a lot heavier again. Kind of hoping, kind of not. A small amount of money goes a long way towards a buffalo bike. For example, £95 or $147 is 1 bike. £35 or $50 is a tool set. And £450 pays for a training course for a local mechanic to learn to build and maintain buffalo bikes. In effect, they train 1 mechanic for every 100 bicycles delivered through their Bicycle for Educational Empowerment programme. I was planning at this point to say how much I was enjoying riding the buffalo bike, and I was, but now I'm having to walk, which is a bit embarrassing. I think Ride London might turn out to be the hardest 100 miles of my life. But anyway, it is amazing to get a different perspective on the simple bicycle, because I've spent years trying to make my bike as light and as fast as possible, and I've never really thought about carrying capacity before. But now I'm definitely thinking about it. Prudential Ride London is on the 29th of July. It's part of a whole weekend of bike racing. You should check it out. The sportive I'm doing is, as I said, 100 miles. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I suspect I might be out until after dark. So please donate to World Bicycle Relief by going to their UK website. You can also click down here to see Dan's fantastic video with World Bicycle Relief last year. Right, I'm going to try riding this thing downhill. I suspect it will be way more fun.